Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Enjoy this Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Stacey and Company show. Stacey Ericson channels messages from your higher self and other realms. Connect with your own unicorn and dragon. Step into this magical realm now.
Hey everyone, I'm Stacey Ericson. I'm so happy to be here today. We've got a great show ahead of us with our guests that we have today. We have quite a few animals that wanted to be involved with the show today. So I'm very, very, very excited to have this show. You can go to my website at www.raspberrylight.com and get more information about me and my shows and anything else, readings and things like that. Today, we're going to talk about animals or pets, actually, that I have done just a few readings on. Now, these are quick readings, just so you know. They're not really involved. And so they're very quick so that I could fit in everybody today. We have 7 animals today. And just so you know, I would like to do this type of show at least, I would say once a month, because our pets are all so involved in our lives on a daily basis, and they really want to come forward with messages for us and, for the world, basically, in some cases with some of these little guys that we have today. So it's all very, very interesting and a lot of fun, and I'm very, very excited once again to be here. Hey, Judy, thanks for joining me. All right, so today I wanted to talk about, first of all, how to communicate with the animals, as well as everything else that we talk about on the show. Now, you know that we have tons and tons and tons of extra beings that are out there for us to talk to. And that includes trees. And you can talk to a blade of grass. I have squirrels in my yard today that, they've been very, very funny, actually teasing my dog all day today. They have like a love-hate relationship. They all love to hate her and she loves to hate them, and they have fun with it. And it's really, really cool. But anyway, so communicating with the squirrels is quite funny to hear them. They have a great sense of humor. And I have to tell you, are just so hysterical with some of the things that they have to say. So how we communicate. Hey, Barbara, it's good to see you. And Super Space Cookie, just love that. It's good to see you too. So thank you for joining me, Robin, as well. And so today, like I said, we're going to talk about communicating. So there's the universal language to communicate with anything, like we just talked about. Hey, Carol, is called telepathy. Now, telepathy is from the mind to mind. And Julie, thanks for joining us from the UK. That's awesome. So happy I'm over there in England. Thank you. Or United Kingdom, I should say. Oh, great. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I see that. So anyway, so it's called telepathy. So telepathy is the mind-to-mind communication where you can obviously speak to somebody mind-to-mind. So say you're thinking about your best friend and all of a sudden she calls you on the telephone and you're like, oh my gosh, I just was thinking about you. Well, that was you sending out information to her that you're thinking about her and to go ahead and touch base or give you a call or whatever it is that you'd like to communicate. So it's really, really cool to have this, this ability. And we all have it. We actually are born with it, but we had lost it because we started speaking words instead of just communicating mind to mind, which might be safer anyway with some of the things I think about. Nobody wants to know about. So it's kind of cool, that we can speak instead, but it is very nice to have this telepathy to communicate with other beings and other things so that, we can go ahead and receive some really brilliant, and I do mean brilliant, information. Now, the other way to communicate is called entrainment. Now, that is heart-to-heart communication. And that you get a little bit more of a a little bit more in depth. You get more feelings, more of the, I don't know, you can get pictures, you can get songs, you can get colors. You can get all kinds of really cool stuff, coming into your being, or even sensations, feelings, this type of thing. And this is all entrainment, like where you're using your body as the vessel to feel into the situation or try to gain information through your body. Now, lately, I've been holding animal communications classes here at my home because it's easier to do it, in person. Small groups, so don't worry, it's safe. But anyway, so with that being said, a lot of people have been learning that they are really especially able to communicate with all different beings. And it's really, really interesting how, you learn over time how you receive information and or what your skills are. So like I said, some people they can hear, some people they can feel, some people they can see movies going across, which is really cool. I have a friend that actually does that. She can just see like a movie screen and it just continues. Other people can see energy, colors. It just depends, and you can expand your abilities as you use them. It's just like anything. The more you use a muscle, say, your bicep, it gets stronger and stronger, but then your bicep, goes into the rest of your muscles, your tricep or your pectorals or whatever it is to help, you strengthen your entire body through that. So it's really interesting how, learning all of these different skills helps you also develop and become more adept at communicating with anything, which is really a lot of fun once again. So some animals, though, I have to tell you, it's really interesting when you are talking with them. And this is something that I've run into with actually a few of these beings that I've spoken with just recently. They don't really communicate in the way that I communicate. So I communicate, more in that I can hear them. Like, you and I are talking one-on-one and I can speak, you speak, I speak, you speak, that type of thing. And so it's very simple and easy for me to communicate with beings, but some of them don't really use that type of communication. So then I have to remember to kind of rock back, breathe, and just focus on that entrainment. Once again, going to my body for the communication and kind of feeling into the situation. So I could feel, okay, you have a little heart palpitation, or you are showing me where you live. Like a few of them actually showed me where they live. They showed me the outdoors, green grass, whatever it is, underneath the tree, the breeze in their faces, all of that kind of stuff is really, really interesting. And Anna, thank you so much. She's got the super sticker. That's so sweet. Thanks so much for donating to the show today. And let's see. So let's go with you today. Actually, I just spoke to you and I'm so excited for you. And you have your little Sasha here today, which is so amazing. And she actually has a lot for you with this message that she has for you. So I'm going to come back to you, Anna, and Judy, you as well. Oh my gosh, you guys, you're killing me here. I love you though. Thank you so much for your donations. I really appreciate them. So let me finish up because otherwise we're not going to be able to, Judy, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. She says, thank you for all you do. I just appreciate all of you so much. So anyway, so I don't want to lose track here because these little guys are just dying to get their messages out to us today. So it's pretty important that I keep moving along with the show. So I just want to say thank you again so much for donating. Totally appreciate it so much and cannot wait to, and Anna says, hi, Stacey, just managed to pop in. We'll catch the replay later. And then Anna says hi to everyone. Anna, like I said, she has one of her animals with us. Her name is Sasha, and it's one of her little dogs. So she'll get the replay later. So today, like I said, the animals that we have to talk to, okay, so where was I with the entrainment? So yeah, so we can feel into our bodies to understand what it is that we're receiving information-wise. And it's really, really interesting. Sometimes you can receive even a smell or a song might pop into your head. I mean, it is really just limitless. I'm completely limitless. I mean, the stuff that I've seen and heard and felt and, had happen is pretty incredible. Things can actually form in front of you, like in your mind's eye, like a being will step up right in front of you and they're like, this is what I really am. So it's really interesting, which actually happened. So it's really interesting to like feel into this situation and see and have fun with it. The biggest thing is that the world is so vast and so unbelievably cool. It really is cool. And it's, like I said, it is so much fun, and it's fun to be here. Oh my gosh, Robin, thank you for the super sticker too. Appreciate it. And so anyway, so it's really exciting to be here on Earth right now because the veil is so thin. And the veil being that thin, you know, the Earth is being basically unearthed. And so what's happening now is that these beings and the communication is becoming much, much easier and much clearer. And so it's a lot of fun for everyone. I mean, if you go online now, it's like people that have never had skills before are now giving information online, which is so cool because they're stepping into the skills, meaning that everybody really does have skills. We're all born with it. It's just whether or not you're stepping into the skill at the time, or you just haven't embraced it quite yet, or you haven't learned it yet. One or the other, it doesn't matter. You know, we're all on our own timeline and once again, having fun with our lives. So this is really, really exciting. I know I'm speaking a little bit quickly because I really want to get to these little pets of ours that are so much fun because I'm telling you, they've got some really cool information. Now, stepping back into them, this is like so much fun for me. I'm so excited to be here once again because these guys are so cool. So a lot of our animals or pets, they actually do represent us. Like for instance, when they come into our lives, they're there for a purpose or a reason. They're in there. Hi, how are you, Marie? I just want to say hi to her. Thank you so much for joining us today. So anyway, so there's our pets. They're in our lives for a purpose or a reason, but they're also in our lives for their purpose and their reason to advance their soul or spirit, just like us. So it's really kind of fun and cool to see, and you'll see like some of these guys will be with you with many lifetimes. Some of them actually represent something to help you kind of communicate and to believe again in your lifestyle and your ways. So anyway, so it's just really, really interesting how all of these animals that we have, our pets or just beings that actually step into our backyard, remind us of who we are and why we're here as well. So that being said, you can, you know, learn from a fox or you can learn from a squirrel. Now I'm going to go ahead and go with one little being that I was so excited about and I was really, really hoping to talk with, because last week I was begging Robin to send in her hermit crab. So we're going to go ahead and put the hermit crab up on the screen as the first being because it's so interesting what he had to say. So where's our hermit crab? So cute. So while we're getting the hermit crab back onto the screen, what we're going to talk about is, you know, what he had to say. Isn't he just adorable, you guys? So cute. He's so adorable. So the hermit crab, Robin wanted to ask, so first of all, I said hello and he said hi. And his hi was like this little teeny tiny, like, hi, like very small voice. I mean, as you can imagine, he's a little small being. So it was very fun to talk to him. You know, I had to kind of really listen though. And then I said, how are you? And he said, healthy and happy. So he's like super, super happy. And I said, do you like where you live? This is one of Robin's questions. And he said, yes, never really lived anywhere else. And what he did was he meant that he's never really lived outside, you know, in the wild. And then he said, this place is better than the last. Now, that being said, Robin had actually just moved them into another area, I guess, or another, I can't remember what that was. Robin, you had mentioned it to me after I read him, but it was really cute. So he likes it better there, just so you know. And he said it's much more magical. So that was really cool. Then it says, do you have any messages for me or your person? So he says, yes, thank you so much for gathering us up and bringing us here. There is so much magic about we interact with other beings, especially the fairies. They ride on our backs. We love it and love them for the joy they bring. The fairies come in all shapes and sizes. Even the humans are fairies. So much fun. Thank you again for gathering us up. So the story is that Robin had actually gathered up these little guys from the pet store and brought them home because, they were going to get rid of these little crabs, and she didn't want anything to happen to them. So she was a beautiful person and brought all these and adopted all of them. And I can't remember how many there are, but it was really quite cool. And so anyway, so he's saying that, and see, Robin is especially adept with fairies. She has fairies all around her all the time. And every time I'm on the show with her, she always says, I have fairies around me too, because she can see them quite clearly. So these guys are helping her enhance her fairyism magic, which is really, really cool. Now, that being said, she said, I asked him to come out of his shell for you. Oh, he's so sweet. He did too. He was such a good boy. I love him. So anyway, so the whole thing is because he knows that there's magic about and that we need to speak with him about this magic. So the whole thing is that once again, we have these little beings in our lives. He's a little being here to experience life just like we are. He has his own purpose, to bring the magic about for these fairies. But the thing is that he's in Robin's life, especially because she is attracted to fairies and fairies are attracted to her. She has an affinity for them and they have an affinity for her. So it's really, really neat how we have, certain beings in our lives. I mean, who thought to have a hermit crab for a pet? So it's really a lot of fun. So I wanted to make sure I brought that forward for you all to think about and sort of chew on a little bit. So let's go on to, let's see here. We got one other that's really, really cool. That's got a little bit more of that special message. That's a little bit, I think it's Coco. So let's go with Coco. Yes, Coco. So Coco's going to be Coco is a cat. And this is really, really interesting. All right. So when you look at Coco, I don't know if you guys could see this, but as soon as I saw Coco, I thought, oh my gosh, Egyptian queen. And just unbelievable how Egyptian this cat looks to me. And knowing that there are cats from other planets, it's really, really interesting. Now, back in Egyptian times, these cats, we were actually communicating with cats quite a bit. We were actually communicating with everything, a lot more so in Egyptian times than we are now. You can do a lot of studies on this. It's so cool. And so people communicated with cats and cats communicated with people. And some of these cats were from another planet. Well, welcome to this one because this is Coco. And Coco says that that's where she's from. And I think Coco's a girl because she has a lot of that, but still it's sort of an arrogant cat. Beautiful, beautiful cat, but arrogant. She's so funny. So anyway, so brilliant, I said. The cat, I said, you're so smart. And she said, brilliant. So I was like, yes, you are. And a lot of fun to talk to. So Nikki is the owner, well, not owner, but person of Coco. And it says, where are you now? And the cat said that she was sleeping. So she's sleeping. And she says, I'm waiting to return. The time will be when it is. I hail from Egyptian times. So I am a Sphinx Bastet cat. And I come from the cat planet. So this was like so interesting to me to hear about this cat. Like I said to you, when you're speaking to animals, sometimes you get information and you're like, whoa, wait a second, hang on there. By the way, back to Robin. She said that, she says with the hermit crab, she said, I asked him to come out of his shell for you, which he did. And he was so sweet. And then she says, I changed their home up. And then Robin says she's down to 5 now. There was 7 of these little hermit crabs. And then she says, I see fairies all the time. So once again, that hermit crab does help enhance her fairy wisdom. And also the hermit crabs get more fairies from Robin as well. So it's reciprocal, right? That's the word, or reciprocated. So anyway, so back to Coco, and she said that she comes from the cat planet. And so it's really, really interesting. And I can't decide if it's like really male or female with this cat, because it has a lot of both sides of the energy. It's really interesting. So anyway, she said, when the planet is ready, I will return. The time won't be for another couple of years, maybe the end of next, depending on the progress. So she's communicating to us about our Earth time, like how Earth is progressing and how things are changing and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like just so much fun to kind of learn more. So she says, Nikki asked, do you have a message for me or your person? And actually I asked that. She said, I really enjoyed my experience with you. We had several conversations and still do. You can communicate with me anytime you want to. Just give me a call. And then she said, LOL. So this cat is so funny. I mean, so funny and hysterical. I just love talking with it because it was all about that. So Nikki, what I saw is that Nikki spoke to this cat out loud and in her mind. So it was like both ways of communication, and the cat was very responsive when she was here. So it was really, really cool. So I hope to meet Coco sometime in the future when he comes back. So it'll be a lot of fun. All right, so let's move on. So then Robin said, this was great and so fun. I love how he talked to you. My daughter wants to bring her turtle on next time. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, turtles are so much fun. So when you're speaking with animals, it's really interesting because you get the idea of or an essence of who they are. It's kind of like meeting a person when they walk up to you. You can feel, if they're strong and powerful in their own, sense of being, or if they're a little more fearful and kind of, drawn back from life, all of that kind of stuff comes out in animals as well. So it's really interesting when you are speaking with these our pets and our animals, what they have to say, but also how they feel. They're energetic being, they're energetic beings just like we are. And so you can feel their energy and what they bring forward in that essence as well. So, okay, so let's get to this a little bit because we got to move forward here. So we got Coco. Coco's all done. So let's go to Bentley. Bentley is a dog who's in heaven right now. And he's with his buddy, Bia. And Bia is really, really cute. Isn't Bia funny? She's like, did you get that picture? She's so cute in this picture. If you can read her too, she's so funny. So Bentley is the black poodle mix. So highly intelligent. He's regal and very sarcastic. So the Bentley's person asked, what was your purpose in our lives? And Bentley said, quiet strength. I reminded you to stand tall, regal with grace and beauty, and then to have a sense of humor with it. Love is always a part of this as well. Thank you for allowing me to step into this role as your dog and create a whole new way to look at animals. And then the person asked, how do we best heal, including your friend Bia? And it says, I'm with all of you, visiting quite often. Bia can see me, but not touch. That is hard for both of us, but I'm here nevertheless. I may come back. So I wanted to give this message too to this person. I don't know their names because it's a friend of mine's friend's dog. That's how it's explained. So I said, do you have any messages for me or your person? And he said, I truly enjoyed every moment of my life with you. You treated me with such great respect, and I felt so much love. This helped me progress my soul quite a bit. Thank you so much for the time we had. Now, this dog has said that he would like to come back as well. He said that that when he does come back, that how they can recognize the other puppy, it's going to still be black with little curly hair like him, but it's going to have white on its face. So that was something that I got as well from him that he really wanted. He said something to remind you of him is the little white on his face. So anyway, so I thought that was really cool. So some of our animals do this. They want to come back to us, in a different form or different idea, or actually as the same being. So in this case, he loved being a poodle mix of some sort. I think he's a poodle mix, or he might be an absolute poodle. I'm not sure, but feels like just highly intelligent and really, really amazing and very sarcastic and funny. Really, really neat dog. And then Bia sitting next to him is just hysterical. She's like a true clown. But anyway, so it's a lot of fun, like I said, to see, he said, I may come back, or he will. And so it's really cool to, have something to look forward to when we do have these animals step out of our lives for sometimes a short period of time and sometimes forever in that essence, but they're never really gone. They're always with us in some way, always. I have a pony that died when I was 32, or transitioned, I should say, and she is still with me to this day. She actually is my horse's guardian or guide. And so it's really interesting, how they can step in as guides as well. So there's just, like I said, there's so much more to this whole thing than we could ever, imagine. And it's so much fun to find out about these beings. Okay, so let's go up here to, let's see. Let's do Leo. So Leo's another pet that transitioned. He's an orange cat. And this is Sarah's dog, which is Super Cookies. Cat. Super Cookies cat. So Robin said, I just want to kind of continue with this because she said, I just had a funeral for one of my hermit crabs. She told me she went to Hermit Crab Heavenly Island. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. I just love it. These beings, all of them are so much fun to have in our lives, and so much fun when they cross over too, because they do have this unbelievable wisdom to share with us every time. So Leo, he's such a lovely cat, isn't he? Just so beautiful. So he says hi. And then Sarah asked, are you upset with me that I had to put you down? And he said, no, I had an amazing life with you, full of honor and love. I felt so special and was there to make you feel the same. And then Sarah also asked, did I do a good job of making you feel comforted and loved in your last moments with me by your side as you took your last breath? And he said, I was ready to step out when the time came. Thank you for listening and helping me with the journey home. I felt your heart so clearly and was so comforted by it. And then we asked, do you have any messages for me or your person? And he said, we have been together in many lifetimes. I have been many different cats to you, as well as a fox as well as a fox a very long time ago. I am one of your very special heart animals. We support you when you have difficult lessons to learn. We comfort you and show you love through our eyes. I am so honored to be one of those animals to you. You helped me with my journey there, as well as to progress in creating more love for the planet. Thank you for the time we had. I am honored to be speaking now. So this was Leo. He's an amazing being. Now you can see his message is, all about being that one, being here to help with lessons, for us to learn. So our pets do step in to our lives at times to help us get through difficult or challenging lessons or challenging times or anything for that matter, or even, unbelievably great times. But they're incredible beings to help us with all of this, transitioning from one part of our life into the next as well. I know that when I was younger, I had a dog and he was really cool. And he traveled all over the country with me. And he was so funny. Oh my gosh, when I got really stressed out and very upset and homesick, he was always right there with me. If I was crying, he'd come over and rub his head on me. But otherwise, he was aloof and, would go find something to do. So the only time he really was interested, in being more of that like loving pet was when I was crying or I was going through some sort of emotional need. So I'm so grateful to have him too. He's a little chow chow. He was so much fun and really, really cool. So we're going to do Isabella. So Isabella is a cat and she is Amy's cat. And this cat is really, really interesting. She is so magical. Now you can kind of see in her face that she might also be, a cat from Egypt or a cat from another land, but she's not from Egypt, but she is from another land, meaning that she comes from a magical place of cats. Now, I'm not really sure. I haven't been able to really delve into that quite yet because, once again, these are very quick readings. If you would like more in-depth readings with your pets, and it usually takes an hour for me to read the pet, and then I, call you and we talk about your pet on the telephone actually. And it's really cool. It's really, really cool to hear and see what they say. But there's so much more information that you can glean from, speaking with them and learning about them and their lives and whatnot. So this is Isabella. She's amazing. And you can go to my website for that, by the way, to schedule appointments or anything else that you would like to, if you'd like a personal reading or a unicorn reading as well. I always forget to say these little things. So anyway, so Isabella, So we asked her, how are you? And she said, great. She said, I love them so much. They are beautiful spirits. So she's talking about Amy and her family. And then I said, do you like where you live? And she says, I love it. They spoil me. I go wherever I want. So she's actually still here, just so you know. I know it sounds like she's not, but she is. She's here in, living with her family in this house. And she's so cool. She really does. She showed me that she could go anywhere in the house at all or do anything pretty much that she wanted. And they were just fantastic with it. So I said, how would you feel about us bringing another cat or dog into our family? And she said, I wouldn't mind. I know they really want another pet in the house. She said, a dog might be fun. I can stay away if I want to. She said, although a cat, I could rule. So just so you know, they do have a great sense of humor. So she said she could rule another cat if they brought it in, which is really fun. Then they said, is there anything more we can do to help you feel better regarding your digestion? Now, this is really funny because most cats do not like anything sweet. But this cat actually mentioned peanut butter. So it might be, I don't know, maybe the natural peanut butter that's not as sweet, but she mentioned peanut butter. And she said it helps lubricate the system. And then she said soft victuals, not wet, science diet, or oil for my gut. And then we asked her, and by the way, she likes to look out the window. She's showing me snow. So that was kind of interesting. So anyway, do you have any messages for me or your person? And it says, my life here is perfect. I love everything about it. You're amazing to me. Treat me like royalty. I love it here. I get to sit and go wherever I please. I'm here to lower the blood pressure. I represent calm and peace just by sitting and watching the world go by. This helps calm the energy and creates a sense of well-being. I love it here and would not change a thing. Thank you. And then she's magic. So like when she walks through the house, and you can feel this is what I'm talking about with that entrainment, is that this cat, you can really feel her energy and how when she walks, she's very purposeful. She's like slow and slinky, and she cleans herself quite a bit, which is the energy that's around her. She's cleaning the energy off of herself and keeping herself clean and clear. And it's really, really interesting how she does all of this. So she is magic. She shifts the energy wherever she goes, and she walks through energy fields to change them. So she fixes like any irregularities in energy. It's very interesting. And she said that there are so many realms. I see the fairy realm mostly. That is where I am from. And I learned magic there too. So it's really interesting, once again, how these animals, our pets, are so, so, so cool. I mean, it's really unbelievable how much they are, representing us in a way. And this cat here is so important with, like I said, the energy of everything. And it's really, really neat. So let's see, Super Cookie, so cute. I just learned her name, Sarah. She's adorable. So Super Cookie said, thank you so much. I really needed this. It will help heal my heart and be able to move forward after all these years. Such a big weight off and so much relief. Bless you for doing this for us. I have happy healing tears. Oh, that's so cool. So Super Cookie's talking about Leo, her beautiful orange cat that was just such an honor to talk with. I really felt very honored to speak with them. So that was really cool. So thank you. All right, so let's get back to this. So I have, let's see here. So we did the magic cat, such a great little being. And then let's do Sasha next. So Sasha is Anna's little dog. And Sasha's really cute. You'll see she has a little jacket on because she lives in Canada, which is a lot of fun. So first of all, we asked her, how are you? And she says, I love my life, love my people, and I love my house. I feel like a pampered pet, and she feels like she's like one of the people in the house. Like, it's so cute. She's like this little person. That's how she feels. So, so she says, Anna, said, have you seen Papa since he transitioned? Now, Anna's father had just transitioned recently, I think just a little while ago. And this actually was his dog. And so, but they all lived in the same house. So it was okay. So she said, yes, he He steps in often. She said he's sad. She's sad, but she gets to see him, and he fills you with you full of light. Oh my gosh, I can't read my own handwriting here. So the question was, have you seen Papa since he transitioned, and how do you feel about his loss? She said, yes, he steps in often, sad, but I get to see him, and he fills you full of light. So that's really, really cool. So our pets can actually see, once again, the energy that's being produced or represented in our lives. Not all of them can, but just about most of them can, especially now, because just like us, their souls have progressed, and they do reincarnate. And so as they reincarnate, they become, smarter, brighter, more exciting, full of wisdom, all of this new stuff. And plus they get new skills too, that they were using in the past, maybe at some point, but they're not using now in this life, but then they're using it in the next life, that type of thing. So it's so much fun. And it's just like us humans, we do the same thing, which is really, really, really cool. So, and then Anna asked, what can we do more for you that you would love to have or do? And she says, nothing. I have the perfect life. Maybe a new bed, but all is good. I'm so happy and feel so special. So Anna, what she does is she takes this dog everywhere, because this little puppy is all there by herself the whole time. Now, when I say puppy, it's actually a dog. She's not really a little baby, but I call, all horses ponies and all dogs puppies anyway. So she takes her everywhere, because she doesn't want her to feel alone at home, being there by herself. So she tries to, put her in the car, where she is right now in this picture with her little jacket on. So, do you have any messages for me or your person? And Sasha says, thank you so much for such an exciting life. I love to go places and see new people. Makes me feel so special. I so appreciate the gratitude you have for my presence and being. There is so much more to come. Magic is about, and you will learn more by the end of the year. Everything is changing, even the house. Everything will be so much different at the end of this year. There will be new energy, new light, and new colors. The house will even change, and more colors, bright and lighter and full of magic. The time is now. You are growing so fast. I'm excited to see what you see when you see it soon. I love and appreciate this life so much. Thank you. And just a side note, Anna, her eyesight is going a little bit. So if you see that, maybe have them check her eyes. But everything else is good with her. She's so happy, and her health feels great. And I'm very, very excited for little Sasha and you, because she's definitely super special. So we're going to move on to the next one. Let's see here. So we did Leo and Bentley and Coco. We're going to go ahead and talk with Molly. So Molly, I actually know this dog in person. She's a friend of mine's dog. And it's so cute. She's so sweet. And she's blind. And just a neat dog. You'll see her little faces. And she's so cute. I mean, just adorable. So this one's really interesting, because Jen was wondering what it is. She says, what was a purpose or lesson from your blindness? And it was really interesting, because this is one pet that, like I said, that I wasn't able to hear clearly, which is really funny, because I actually know this dog in person. I see her all the time. So I just want you to know that even though you, Amy says, hang on a second. Let's go back to Amy real quick. She says, can you believe I got pulled away to answer the door for most of what Isabella had to say? I can't wait to watch the replay. Thank you so much. That's okay, Amy. I know it's not easy. Sometimes these things happen, but maybe you weren't supposed to hear it quite yet. And then Dee Dee, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. All right. So anyway, so back to Molly. So it was really interesting. So Molly was a little bit like, who is this type of thing? And I was like, you remember me? And so she's like, oh yeah. And then we talked. And so it was really, really cool. But it was so funny, because she recognized me by my voice, which was really, really neat, because she is blind. And it was cool. So I just thought this was so interesting, even with her us talking telepathically, she really did recognize my voice. So we must have, our own voices when you're speaking telepathically to other beings. But for me, sometimes I hear a different voice and sometimes I hear my own voice. So if you're hearing your own voice and you're speaking telepathically to something, don't be surprised and don't believe that it's you. It's just how you recognize, what it is that you're hearing. So it's quite an interesting way to be. I have to tell you, it's really interesting, and as time goes on, you'll recognize, what's you, what's not you, and how you feel and all this other stuff. So it's really cool. So anyway, so back to Molly. And this is once again Jen's dog. So Jen says, what was the purpose or lesson from your blindness? And Molly says, it's just the experience I chose this lifetime. I picked you knowing you would help me really get the lesson with kindness and love. You help me so much by looking out for me wherever we go. And then she says, what can we do better to make your life easier or more fulfilled? She said, and Molly said this jokingly, she said, don't move the furniture, LOL. And then she said, you're doing everything you can. I love basking in the sun. My friends are there to keep me safe. They help me when I ask and let me know what is open and closed. So like the doors, Jen actually lives with, oh, thank you, Amy, so much. Jen actually lives with sliding glass doors all the way across the back of her house. And so, the animals have to kind of, with eyes can figure out if it's open or closed, whereas Molly is once again sight challenged. So, and then she says, you are so thoughtful by keeping things the same and familiar so I can work it out too. And she's so cute. So then we asked, do you have a message for me or your person? And Molly was really cute. She says, I've traveled many lifetimes with you. You are my person. I have been with you when you were blind once before, helping you see as well. This is a return favor, sort of. I am so happy to be with you now. Love where we live. It's warm and I feel the sun. Many smells too. Brings joy to my heart. Thank you so much. I love you. So Molly had a great message for Jen. But once again, this is like so cool because this is another animal or being that has stepped into, their person's lives. And they've been in their life several lifetimes before. And even Molly looks like a little fox, doesn't she? She's so cute. Her ears are always up, obviously, because she's, using her ears quite a bit to hear. And she's so, so special. And her nose works perfectly as well. So that helps her get around so that she can figure out, where to go and that type of thing. It's kind of like snakes. Snakes do the same thing. They know where they're going through. I think it's through smell, through their mouth. And it's really, really interesting. So, so all these beings, they have their special purpose, their special way, and they're in our lives to remind us of so many things, so many different things that are really, really super important. And sometimes we forget about, why we have a pet in our lives. Sometimes we're like, oh man, I can't believe I have to go home to let the dog out. I've done that. So, and I can hear him. So it's all part of us just being human. But then at the same time, I get home and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. And I'm so happy to have you in my life. So it really is kind of fun and funny. And, I just love being able to communicate with all of these pets and animals for all of you. And I appreciate you sending in your pets and animals. So that being said, I want to mention that for the next show, we're going to talk about dragons and unicorns again, because dragons are really coming in big right now for this year. In fact, I have a friend that's doing a full moon ceremony. There's a full moon tomorrow, which will be a lot of fun for everybody. She's doing a full moon ceremony to celebrate this new beginnings, because that's about, new beginnings and letting go of a lot of stuff. And actually, I think it's letting go of a lot of stuff is the full moon. I'm not really clear on all this stuff yet. I'm still learning as we go along. But anyway, so the full moon's tomorrow, and she's talking about bringing in the dragons. And I said, yes, that's because they are very, very prevalent right now. They're moving blockages out of our way. Every single person I see in the world has a dragon right now, which is really fun and interesting at the same time. And it's really cool for all of us to, to create new I don't know, new beginnings with these dragons with us. So it's going to be fun to talk about them next week. I can't wait. They're going to be really, really, they're already coming in and they're so interested in what we have to say to them as well. So we'll be talking a lot about the dragons and then probably a little bit on the unicorns, because you know how they are. They like to be talked about as well. And they're all about unconditional love. So that's always a nice subject to speak of. And then the last thing I want to say is, I'm going to try to do a show. Well, I shouldn't say try. I choose to do a show every single month on our pets. So if I didn't get to your pet this time, which I know I did not, because I wrote down a few of you that I didn't get to, and but I do have them already down for the next show that we do. And so anyway, so I just want to let you know that I do have them written down. But if you could send me your pets again, and let me know, if they're in spirit or if they're here, that's a great thing. And also if, and then 2 questions and then a picture of their eyes. Now, the biggest thing I do want to stress here is, there it is. loveraspberrylight@gmail.com is where you can send your information. Now, the biggest thing is that I do the readings before the show, not on the show, just because it's easier for me to go quietly off into, a little space somewhere and to communicate with them in a smaller area or without, this vast audience. So, anyway, so it's just easier. So if we could, make sure that you send me those ahead of time, then we'll try to get them into the next show for sure. I think 7 is good because we're at 3:45 right now. So we do have plenty of time left to speak of other things, which is really nice. I probably could do one more. So maybe even 8 next show. So please do send in your animals and we will go ahead, or your pets, or even a squirrel if it's in their backyard. I mean, they're so much fun, believe it or not, to talk to. I mean, they're hysterical. They're related to the fairy realm. Oh, and I have a story for you too, but hang on a second. So anyway, so send in your pets and then that way I can go ahead and get them read before the next show. And we'll probably have that show, I think today is the 27th, right? So yeah, so probably the next show will be at the very end of next month, February. And then we can go ahead and, like I said, do more readings with your pets with just 2 questions. And then we'll find out, who they are, where they are, and what they're about, which is so much fun because you just learned that, the little crabs, the little hermit crabs, they're connected to the fairy realm, which is so cool. And there's a couple of cats that are actually from other planets, which is really interesting. So, and always a lot of fun. I swear, it is so neat to see how insane this world really is, but in a good way for me, because I just love it. It's like magic, so much magic out there. So it's really cool. So Robin says, I had to switch to Facebook, YouTube not working. I am doing a full moon ceremony. I'm also doing a cord cutting ceremony. Oh, those are good. Cord cutting is awesome. Oh my gosh, those are so great. And then she says, I see my dragon all the time. My dragon is a water dragon, but also flies. That's very cool. Yeah. Dragons are magic, so they can pretty much do anything they want, even if they are, water dragons. She said this was such a fun show as always. And thank you, Robin. I really appreciate you sending in your pet as well. So once again, please send in your pets to loveraspberrylight.com or whatever it is. It's that. There it is, at Gmail. That's it, at gmail.com. And then we can go ahead and get those pets read before the next show for sure, which I'd really like to do. Ahead of time, I was a little bit stressed this week with everything because it was kind of a crazy week for me. And so I was able to get in as many as I could, and I'm really excited about that. All right, so I want to tell you something that was really, really cool before we go. And yesterday, it was so neat. So I go to the beach, or I try to go to the beach as much as I can. I've got a great tan because of it, but not really. I was walking on the beach because I tried to do that for my own special space, in time. Before I used to ride horses all the time and go out into the barn and talk with them. But now, I live at the beach or close to the beach, I should say. So it's easier for me to go there. So I was at the beach yesterday and I was walking, and this is the coolest thing ever. I mean, truly awesome. I've never seen this before. So it was like so neat. And I've lived in Florida my whole life. So it's really, really cool. So anyway, so there were 20 dolphin, seriously, 20 of them. And it was they call them a pod, with horses, it's a herd, but with dolphin, it's a pod. So anyway, so they were out in the water And guys, it was unbelievable how cool it was. They were jumping and leaping out of the water. I felt like I was at SeaWorld, just like they were all over the place. They were jumping over each other. They were like going in and out of the water. They're going across the water, making like that wave that they get there. And one of them, actually a few of them, at some point I was sitting, so that was in the morning actually. And so they were fishing and all these birds were over the top, because they're scaring up the fish. And they were obviously having like a massive feast, but they were celebrating at the same time. And so that was like so much fun to see, these dolphins that are celebrating. It's just, they're called the ambassadors of the sea for that very reason, because they make you smile. They make you happy. They're just joyful beings. And they are at that higher level of ascension type of thing, like where they're actually seventh dimension, I think, or something like that. They come from the Sirius Sea planet, which is really, really neat, but they still hold that vibration, the higher vibration of fun and joy and love. And so, everybody loves them. I've never heard of anybody that doesn't like a dolphin. And even other animals love them. It's like hardly anything kills them because, they're just unbelievably awesome and nothing wants to. And so it's a lot of fun, to see these dolphins out there. It was incredible. And to be like 20 of them, it had to be at least 20. So anyway, so then later on in the day, I went back to the beach because I was reading some of these animals, and it's really nice to sit on the beach and do some readings. Well, I didn't get any of that done because when I went back, the dolphins were still there. It was crazy cool. So anyway, so I look out in the water, and again, this time they're like right in front of me because I was sitting on the beach, and the dolphins were like, "We're here for you." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." Meaning that there were a ton of people on the beach. So they were here for all of us is pretty much what it was. And just entertaining everybody, taking us out of like our dreadful days or dreadful life or whatever it is that's going on. It's like they really help people get really super, super joyful. And so everybody was like leaping out of their chairs and like walking down to the shore of the beach there and watching them. And so all of a sudden, it was the neatest thing. They, I think it was like 3 or 4 of them came right up so close. It's amazing how shallow they can actually swim, like in that shallow water. It's so cool. Anyways, it came up really, really, really close and like swam as fast as it could, like right past us. And then another one right after that and another one. So it was like 3 of them that like passed right by. And it was so neat, so neat. So then everybody jumped into the water because of course now they want to swim with the dolphins, which you shouldn't do, by the way. And then of course that sent the dolphins back out into the ocean a little bit farther, which I was kind of bummed out about, but hey, we all have our joy. And everybody was so excited that they wanted to like really experience, being in the water with the dolphins. So it was, I have to tell you, it was the coolest thing to see. And once again, and there's 20 of them. Very easily 20 dolphin out there. And then after that, I was sitting on the beach still just watching because now I can't go home yet. And they were leaping out of the water, jumping and then coming back down and then up again, like straight up in the air. You know how they do that. And then they're back down again. And oh my gosh, they were like all over the place. It was like a frenzy looking, but a fun. It was like a party. It was a huge party in the water with these dolphins. And it was so, so, so cool. So I am so grateful to be able to share this story with you because they wanted to let us know that there still is so much joy in the world. There really is. We just have to create it and think about it and really, really be it, experience it for ourselves. Go outside, dance, or even in your house where it's cold, go inside, turn on some really loud music and start dancing and just have fun with your life, get your blood going and really feel good about all this kind of stuff because that's what they want us to project is more joy, more love, more feeling of elation so that we can be the beautiful beings and brilliant stars that we really, really are. And these animals really help us. Like I said, they help us through challenging times. And so these dolphins were there to help us through this challenging time that, the world is going through right now. So it's so much fun to recognize this, and you can see this in all the animals now. I know that all of these animals are really trying to help us. Even the squirrels, like I said today, they were hysterically funny with my dog. So funny. She was just as funny with them. So it's really nice to to flow and to recognize and to really, really look at, these animals that are in our lives and present right in front of us that bring us joy and can help us, step out of ourselves and to and step into that, like I said, that feeling of elation. I just love it. So then Robin says, I love the dolphins. They will put a show on for you. Oh yeah, they do. And she says, I was on a boat and 5 of them were doing all kinds of tricks. I know. Isn't that fun? I mean, truly, they really are the ambassadors of the sea. Dolphins are so smart too. I mean, I really feel they're smarter than us. If you talk to a dolphin, way beyond us, way beyond us. They are so multidimensional. It is so much fun. And then Amy says, I can't wait to visit Florida again. Oh my gosh, I know. The weather has been pretty nice, I must say. And then Robin says, thank you again for all you do for all of us. You are amazing. Oh, thank you. You all are amazing as well. I've enjoyed this show so much today, and I really, really cannot say how much I appreciate, truly appreciate you guys for being here. I mean, just so exciting. I love the interaction. So much fun. And please do send your animals or pets in for the next show, which will be at the end of the month with 2 questions. And then we'll ask them all about, where they are, where they came from, and all of that, which is really can be exciting and very different at some point. And then next week we'll do dragons. And once again, we'll talk about the colors of dragons too, because color is really important in all of our lives. Right now, I feel like red is really starting to show up with the gold still. Gold is for healing. And so that's an energy that, we're still in. But now we're going to start flowing into like a red, like a reddish purple and purples and reds, because we need more energy so that we can build our energy back up, so that we can be, like I said, joyful, elation, have this elation and just be happy with ourselves and with our spirits and our souls. So thank you so much for the show today. I really appreciate being here, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.